Welcome, Cross-Covered Tribe. Continuing our series on learning about astrology, I'm going to talk to you today about the polarities. Polarities discuss masculinity versus femininity in the zodiac signs. Now, when we talk about masculinity versus femininity, I don't want us to get too hung up on certain societal perspectives regarding these polarities. What this speaks to is more active components and passive components, or maybe direct components and indirect components. We might even say this has to do with exterior versus interior. When we talk about masculine signs and we talk about feminine signs, we're not having a conversation about which is better, which is worse, which one makes more sense in a discussion about what gets done and by whom or how things get accomplished. Remember that each one of you is a tapestry. Your natal chart is composed of many, many different factors. So when we discuss simply the sun sign or simply the ascendant sign, talking about it in terms of masculine versus feminine helps, but doesn't paint the entire picture. Because what you are and who you are, how you respond to different kinds of stimuli, has a lot to do with the context within which the stimuli occurs, as well as what aspects of your natal chart will respond to different environmental factors that you face from moment to moment. If we look at the wheel of the zodiac, it starts with Aries, which is a masculine sign. Then we move on after Aries to Taurus, which is a feminine sign. After Taurus, we move on to Gemini, which is a masculine sign. Then we move on to Cancer, which is a feminine sign. Then we move from Cancer onto Leo, which is a masculine sign. Then from Leo onto Virgo, which is a feminine sign. We move from Virgo onto Libra, which is a masculine sign, and from Libra onto Scorpio, which is a feminine sign. We move from Scorpio onto Sagittarius, which is a masculine sign, and then we move from Sagittarius onto Capricorn, which is a feminine sign. We move from Capricorn onto Aquarius, which is a masculine sign, and we move from Aquarius onto Pisces, which is a feminine sign. Looking at that pattern, we see that every other sign is a feminine sign. With this being said, it represents very much the same pattern that we see in other astrological systems like Taoist astrology, where the yin and yang polarities are also similarly organized. The idea behind polarities is simple. An active masculine sign accomplishes its tasks through direct interaction and requires recognition. A passive feminine sign will accomplish tasks behind the scenes and in an obfuscated or obscured way. Feminine signs tend to be much more interior and inward seeking when it comes to finding answers. Masculine signs are much more external and better at finding things out and away from themselves. If we were thinking of this in terms of Myers-Briggs, we would say that the masculine signs tend towards extroversion and the feminine signs tend towards introversion. This has a lot more to do with how we might approach celestial bodies like the sun and the moon. The sun is a masculine archon. The moon is a feminine archon. The sun is all about illumination and clarity. The moon is all about obfuscation and obscurity. Neither is better than the other. They simply represent different methods of accomplishing tasks. If we view the polarities as means by which we can reach a goal, then we understand that it's really just the same mountain, picking two different roads, one pole being one road and the other pole being the other road. If you look at a magnet, you have to have opposing poles for the magnet to function properly. And so we have to have both masculine and feminine methods of accomplishing tasks. Now, an outwardly very masculine individual, because of their natal chart, might have very feminine traits that they don't often expose to the world. And a very feminine single individual might have secretly very masculine traits that you don't know about until you get to know them very well. Depending on the context of the circumstances you find them in, what polarity they prefer based upon a set of circumstances is what you will find really guides them down whatever path they think is in front of them. So until next time, please leave your suggestions in the comments for future classes. And as I've said, you too will be able to shape this educational path. Thanks ever so much, and take care.